So let's start it off with John, who's on the line in Longmont, Colorado. John, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm living the dream, John. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. So my question for you is, I have recently found out that it's a great possibility that I have Parkinson's disease,
Oh, no.
and I am trying to figure out what needs to change in my life and where my career is headed, because being a professional driver for the U.S. Postal Service will not most likely be an option anymore.
Uh-huh. Well, so let's start with your actual limitations. What clearly are you informed on that this is absolutely going to be, almost without a doubt, a physical limitation? Have they shared all those with you, the doctors?
I'm actually scheduled to meet with a subspecialist neurologist in June.
Okay.
To figure out more on those lines.
Okay. Well, the question becomes, what would you, if you weren't, let's just say that the health diagnosis wasn't a part of the conversation, just for a moment. And we were just saying, you know what, I've driven for the Postal Service long enough. I kind of want to do something different, maybe in the same general area, but not driving. What would you want to do?
Well, honestly, I have a passion for interacting with people and being an encourager to people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now that, my friend, is extremely valuable, number one. And number two, lots of different ways to do that. So let's keep playing that out. And don't let your mind limit yourself right now for these just few moments together. So how would you interact and encourage people? What problem do you most want to solve? What solution do you want to provide to those people? Who are those people? Let's put some details on this vision.
Well, I have always believed that helping people is important, and I am trying to kind of get a grasp on how I can do that, whether or not it's finding a counseling role somewhere or doing something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you.
Well, I know you're not, but you've already started thinking instead of answering. So I'm trying to help you. I'm putting you on the spot on purpose, not to make you uncomfortable, but to let your heart speak to your brain. Tell me who you want to encourage. Who are the people that pop in your mind? Because I know they have. A few moments ago, a type of person, a person with a specific problem that needed a solution. Somebody pops in your head when you allow yourself to say, all right, if I was going to encourage, whether it be through counseling, actual licensed counselor role, or is it another role? Who are the people you want to help? What problem do you want to solve? Go.
People that are bullied, because I was bullied.
I knew it. I knew that there was somebody specifically that you had in mind. All right, then. So where are those people at? Where do those people that are getting bullied exist? Where are they living and walking and breathing and running? Where do they exist?
They exist all over the planet, to be honest with you.
Well, I know, but come on, I'm trying to be specific. I'm trying to help your brain see a path. So where would you be able to help those people who are being bullied? Give me a couple locations.
Schools, churches.
There we go. So now we have ourselves a pretty obvious direction, okay? And so you have a heart for helping young people who are getting bullied. Maybe they look a little different. Maybe they talk different. Maybe they just are different all the way around, or maybe they just got something going on. And, it's funny about kids. It's actually not funny, but there's something about kids in their lack of maturity that they'll just pick on weakness. They see weakness and they'll just go after it. And so you have a heart for those kids. So clearly in the school systems or in churches, so, if you're looking for a role where you've got to make money, how much money do you need to make?
At least $2,000 to $3,000 a month, probably.
Okay. So how old are you, John?
I just turned 35 last November.
All right, great. So you got lots of time left, and you've got a lot you can contribute. I think you need to spend some time with maybe some guidance counselors. Some people, that are in the area that you live in that play that role. Or do you know any teachers, or do you know anybody that knows some teachers? and then you say, hey, would your friend who's a teacher, would they be willing to connect me with the guidance counselor at their school, or maybe the assistant principal? Maybe that's a principal role, an administrative role. And the reality is that based on some of the physical limitations, and I don't want to speculate how it's going to affect you physically, but the reality is it shouldn't affect your mind that greatly. Am I right?
That is correct.
Yeah. And what about your ability to communicate?
I can still talk just fine.
That's right. That's my point. So your ability to discern, your ability to listen, your ability to then give feedback is the most valuable thing in a role like that. So you're 35 years old. You're not too old to switch careers. So let's practice the proximity principle. And the first thing you're going to do is what I just told you to do. How many people do you know who know teachers? How many teachers do you know directly? One-to-one relationship. Start talking to people that are in guidance counseling and find out if, in fact, that role is something that you would be intrigued by. And once you talk to them, you're going to know more than just what intrigues you. You're going to say, okay, this is what it takes. These are the requirements. And so then you learn everything about the day-to-day job, and then you learn about the requirements, how you get qualified for it. And in the process of doing this with multiple guidance counselors, you're making some great connections. And, you've got a great history with the United States Postal Service. So stepping into a new career because of physical limitations, nobody's looking down on that. There's nothing for you to have your head hanging. You should have your head high and go, hey, this is the next chapter or several chapters in my life. So, John, if you practice the proximity principle, I'm telling you, it will work for you. So, Madison, let's give John a copy of the proximity principle. And you read it and do it, John, and you're going to step into that role and you're going to help so many people. Oh, I love it. It's never too late to do what you were created to do.